you need to be able to identify your effectiveness mode. And I want to explain what effectiveness means in this context. Effectiveness in this particular context of the personal development cycle deals with your ability to identify the right goals that are aligned to your area of interest and your area of passion, and they are also within the proximity of achievement, so that they fall within, what we call in simple language low-hanging fruits, things that you can easily do. In order to define your niche market, and you need to define your area of focus. So what do you want? What do you really want to do? Where do you really want to do? You can't improve your life without clarity of thought on what you really want to do, what you really want to become, what you really want to achieve, and what is your real focus. Hello and welcome to Expansion Revolution Nuggets. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an exciting time and we are looking at personal development, and you can see it is something that it is close to my heart, and I think it is helping you to grow and to make your life better. Remember how we have started. We have said personal development is a science of improvement. It deals with models and strategies of how people can make themselves better. And I believe that you are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast because you want your life to become better in so many other different ways. I mean, our needs are different, our aspirations are different. Maybe you're looking for improvement in the business, in the workplace, in your family, in your personal life. Whatever it is, there is a room for improvement. Human beings are animals of improvement. If you are not becoming better in how you take care of yourself, better in how you present yourself, better in how you represent yourself, better at your workplace and everything, then you have stopped growing. And anyone who stops growing, it's heading towards death. That's it. Yeah, because once you stop growing, then everything begins to shrink. So it's important. And we have been looking at the personal development cycle. We have so far been able to look at the number one aspect of the cycle, that you need to know your identity. Number 2, you need to know your talents. Number 3, you need to know your opportunities. Number 4, we looked at you need to know what time is it in your life, because time is going to determine what do you need to do. Today I want to introduce to you the 5th component of the cycle, which is effectiveness. You need to be able to identify your effectiveness mode. And I want to explain what effectiveness means in this context. Effectiveness in this particular context of the personal development cycle deals with your ability to identify the right goals that are aligned to your area of interest and your area of passion, and they are also within the proximity of achievement, so that they fall within, what we call in simple language low-hanging fruits, things that you can easily do. You can easily do. So it is going to be important that in your journey towards developing yourself and improving yourself, you need to make decisions of effectiveness. Now, at a place of effectiveness, we are dealing with places with issues of choice. You need to reach a place where you choose what to do and what not to do. I mean, majority of us, sometimes we are faced with so many other things that we need to do in life. And sometimes it is part of the process, that makes it difficult for us to advance forth, because you find yourself doing a lot of things, and most of the things that you'll be doing are not yielding the results that you want. So at an effective stage, you have to pause and ask, what is it that I need to do? Maybe there are 5 options that you need to choose out of them, and you want to focus on the 2 main important things. So effectiveness is all about choosing the right thing, and that right is very subjective, in the sense that what is right for me may not necessarily be right for you. So you need to be looking at the context of what is right within your personal capacity. Of course, within the limits of godliness, that's very important to me. Within the limits of professionalism, that's also very important to me. And within the limits of legalism, in whether what you want to pursue is legal within your country or where you are. So very important that sometimes we dodge the process of focusing on what is important and right for us. And once you choose that, guess what happens? Things begin to change and you begin to experience a lot of success, because now you are focusing on things that you like. You know, the passion rule is one of the things that I advocate. It should be a component that help you to say, is this right for me? And then the competency audit, which talks about your talents and your abilities, and I've said something about that. So you need to do that, and you also need to check the godliness. I like the godliness because it is important that we need to align ourselves with God's plan for our lives. Because when you wander away from God's plan and maybe you make decisions just because things can make more money for you without necessarily aligning it to God's plan concerning your life, you would find yourself going astray and moving away from principles that have made you who you are, and in the process you lose yourself. So make sure that you consider the principles of godliness in guiding you in terms of who or what you ought to pursue. So at an effective stage, the main question is, what are the things that I need to do right at this time? That's a very important question. And I don't know how you'd wish to respond to that. What are the things that you need to be doing right now? You know, every stage of life gives you opportunity to check on whether you are doing things right. But right now, in 2021, what are important things that you need to be doing right, that if you could keep them right, your life would progress so smoothly? And I can ask you another one, which is the challenge of effectiveness, is what areas in your life are tempting you to derail from the main thing, from the focus that you are in, for you to go away? Yeah. What are your current temptations? And I'm using a very strong temptation, is very biblical. But what are things that are derailing you from what you should be focusing on? Because all of us, we always experience distractions, and you need to have an approach to distractions so that you are able to eliminate them. Because there's no effectiveness without focus. Effectiveness asks you the questions: what do you want to focus on? And what should people know about you that you are focusing on? Because in order to define your niche market, and you need to define your area of focus. So what do you want? What do you really want to do? Where do you really want to do? You can't improve your life without clarity of thought on what you really want to do, what you really want to become, what you really want to achieve, and what is your real focus. These 4 important questions are very important to help you drive towards being an effective person. You are effective if you have clarity of thought in who you want to become, what you want to achieve, what you want to do. And sometimes we even add how you want to do it. That's add, but that's more like our next discussion on efficiency. But it is important for you to know who you want to become, what you want to do. Have focus. Don't be swayed away by any new intervention and any new developments in the technology and in the advancement. Select your area and focus on things that you need to do. I think that's important. So please share this with people in your life who might be doing so many other things and not achieving success in one, that they need to focus on getting 1 or 2 done, and then once 1 of those 2 have been done, now you broaden the scope. It's still focus, but it's now multiplied, and you're able to do that. But to start all things and everything and try to focus on them, you would not meet the criteria of the effective rule. And when you do that, your ability to become successful is delayed. Let's focus and build slowly but surely, and God will bring the results and take us to places where our strength and talent cannot take us. And God takes pleasure in effectiveness and focus. Be focused on Him, be focused on what you are doing, and I can assure you results would show. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see you again next time. Please share this information with people in your life. Like and subscribe. It's very important, and let's take it to the next level. Thank you for joining me.